Good evening and a very warm welcome from the Royal Opera House, both to our audience here in the Claw studio and to all of you watching around the world. I'm Tamsin Roberts and I'm delighted to present tonight's Insight supported by Rolex. This evening we're going to see preparations for Peter Wright's Giselle. Developed from Petipa's classic tale of love, betrayal and the supernatural, rich in character detail and poignant depth of feeling, Giselle really is the quintessential ballet of the Romantic era. Its title role, one of the most inspiring for generations of performers. And it's about to open here at Covent Garden, and you can watch it anywhere in the world on December the 3rd. All you have to do is go to the Royal Opera House stream, so do visit the website and sign up. Well, before we get started into rehearsals, I am delighted to welcome Director of the Royal Ballet, Kevin O'Hare. Lovely to see you, Kevin. Thank you for joining us. Kevin, what is so special about Peter's Giselle?
Well, it's sort of quite extraordinary. I think it's become really a signature work for the Royal Ballet. It sort of hones into all the things that I think the Royal Ballet is about, telling a story with a beautiful classical dancing. And we have this amazing set designed by John McFarlane, and the costumes are by him as well. But I think Peter did so many versions of Giselle over the years for very many companies, including the Royal Ballet. But this, I think, is the culmination of all that work that he did, researching the story and bringing it to life. And I think it feels really fresh and real. And and it's an extraordinary experience to get sort of taken on this journey of Giselle and the whole story.
Absolutely. Now, I understand this year marks a special occasion for Peter. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, well, Peter is now the grand, I don't think you'll mind me telling him, but he is the grand old age of 95 this November. So we're delighted that he'll be coming to the first night of Giselle, and then we're planning to celebrate his birthday. His birthday is actually on the 25th of November, which we have a matinee of the Nutcracker. So he's going to come to that, because I offered him to come to the first night, and he said, Princess Margaret said, never celebrate your birthday before you've had it. So he's coming to the matinee and to see his birthday. So we can't wait to see him, because of course it's been a long time since he's been in the building.
Oh, that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm looking forward to this evening. Thank you so much, Kevin. Director of the Royal Ballet, Kevin O'Hare.
Thank you. Enjoy, everybody.
Well, let us get straight into rehearsals. We're going to see the pas de deux from Act 2. So please welcome principal dancers of the Royal Ballet, Yasmin Nagdi and Matthew Ball, coached by Olga Evrainov and accompanied by Tim Qualtrough on the piano. Thank you so much.
I should make one correction. We're not going to do the pas de deux of the second act, but we're going to start almost not quite beginning of the second act, but from the moment Albrecht comes into the forest, and so it's the first dance together rather than the famous pas de deux, to which we might get, depending how things go. I should just warn you that two things to be said. I'm not going to treat it as a pretend rehearsal. It's a real one. So today we did rehearse, but we have not touched the second act today at all, working just on the first act. So I would be normally probably not stopping too much at this point, because the opening night is very soon and their performance is very soon. But I might have to do it using this opportunity of a normal rehearsal, stop where it needs to be stopped and commented. And here we go. I shouldn't talk anymore. Matthew is coming into, so Tim, you know where we are. Giselle has come out of the grave already and is off stage. And Albrecht is coming into the woods. It's rather hard because to not do steps, ballet steps I mean, is actually very hard. and fill quite a long moment of music and create the atmosphere of this man who was such a bastard, if you pardon my expression, in the first act. Suddenly, the tragedy of the death of this girl has awoken something different in him. He has only walking to show it. Yeah? Here we go. Look, you're in the forest. Can I stop? Sorry, this is really terrible of me, but can I stop? I think that, Matt, you need to, when you come, you're coming with the flowers. And so there, at some point, you have to have some relation to them, yeah? Also, when you look at the forest, that was too much. What was too much was this. You are just, yeah, you don't need to do so. Just take it one more time. Sorry, Tim, once more. Please. And try not to walk on the music, but through the music. Now you can lift your eyes and look. Yes, that's better. Go. Okay. You will come to where you need to come, yeah? He goes off stage and comes back. And he's in the forest cemetery. There too, lift your eyes gradually. This is a difficult moment. Now, you sense her first. Where from? Very hard with a cape. Just touch. And really create that line that you want. Careful there, yes? Make sure you finish through the pied. Pull towards you. Yeah? Even slow with that. Sorry guys, I'm going to stop. We won't go back Excuse me, yeah? Just 1 second. It was all much better. There was a moment where I felt your eyes, your head was a little bit too long stuck there. Use your eyes, look far away, yeah? And yes, when you come here, really, we should see all of that, and like you're blown with the wind, yeah? Okay. So can you, and then you can just touch the grave and go down, yeah? All right. So just go from where you are, thinky, here. Yeah. Just before she comes, please. Before she comes. Now fill out all the music very slowly. Not you, Tim. It's for her to go. Not high. That's already too much. And go. And now fill it out. And again, not high. And your tears. Stop. And go. Not too slow, Tim, please. Yes. I can't really see. And connect. And you have full phrase, yes. First, don't look right away. Take your time looking at her. And go. And not too fast lift. Lift her slowly. That's better. Upsa. And cover the space now. Lift. Now go all the way down and from the right mat. Travel. Okay, I was going to stop actually in this particular, in the entrelacé section, because it is nice if you cross during the jump, rather than cross before and then hello afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, you're crossing a little bit early, so be careful. It's the first one which is hard. After it works itself better. That is one thing. The other thing, way back when, where we started here, take your time first, just sense her. So don't come up looking at her. You have to first just sense where she is, and then I would, if you can work it out, how can I say that you are going to where she was, so that you naturally miss her, rather than looking where she is and missing her, you know? You go to where she was, and so then You know what I'm saying? Can we just do this one section for a moment? That's after the écartés, yeah? Dum dee da dum bum bum da da dim ba dim bum. Those are the three arabesques, yeah? And that's better. Take your time. Take your time again. Now, you see her. Now, go to where she was and go. Yes, that was good. Thank you. We're not doing the lift, yeah? All right? So, second side was better than the first. Okay? Now, let's make sure you're not going to slip again, please. Oof, please. Yeah. That little circle before, first of all, you're a little bit like that towards the grave, yeah? That something like that would be better. And then again, keep telling the story. What you're looking for her, you're looking, then you see her for the ballonnet and entrelacé, okay? Just before the crossing entrelacé. Do you know where we are?
Maybe a quick 6.
Good, thank you. And go. Better. Now careful. Move back, move front. And hop. And spotting foot. Careful. Now, one other correction, and that is, you know what, the beginning. That when you just don't go too high with the leg, because it becomes belonging to a different ballet. Yeah? Let's do it with music. Just that her ya da dum bum bum beginning of that. He's still on the knee. Long through the neck. Really develop it. Go and reach and go. And now and better. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, There you need to find a coordination. So you cry, so because you go into the crying all the way from the top. Then maybe that breath before développé écarté, don't do again so big, so it becomes, you know, all. So if you do this big, then here it's just more of a breath and go. Yeah, only why you go now suddenly so far forward. Yeah, it just never arms behind, but can't be so forward. There, yeah, and they float. Remember what we said, it's like a wave. The water, the wave, it goes up, and because the water, it comes underneath down, yeah? So there is all the time you have that. And even after this was very nice round, that was better, then you come here, and you first, there has to be, you know, like what we said, like a little, when you color the picture, but it's a moving picture, and go. Yeah, don't go that all the way there. Don't go all the way there. It still is, your spirit hovers above him right from the start, okay? And very much so in the pas de deux. Do we have time to do a bit of a pas de deux? I think so. Yes? Okay. So, just from the cross, okay? So he runs in, I mean, everybody knows the story, so you know, he runs in, he stopped, he runs back, he stopped, he comes again, and there comes Mirta, and she's really quite horrible, and so Giselle comes to save him, try to, yeah? So just a short lead-in, so we start the pas de deux. Sorry. Okay, good, but better. Don't be very big gesture when you call it. Well, it's just don't do that. If you're here, be there almost, but you know something has smaller. When you walk, I almost don't want to see your steps. Yeah? Just one more time. I promise I won't stop you again. Maybe. Shoulders careful. In fifth position, that could have been technically better. Yeah, okay, do that again, yeah. From the bow, not good enough to start in fourth position. You have to work your feet all the way that it looks like one leg, and that one leg travels back. Okay? Just from the bow to Mirta. And those arms, remember? That's better. Foot, now time it. there's no dead moment anywhere. And again, remember, fill out shoulders. Thank you. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that was all right. That was all right. When you start, really time it. Still, you got a little bit. There was a dead moment in à la seconde at the top. Just by a little bit, it was too fast. So you really have to time the beginning slowly. And when you start, you have to feel a connection of your fingers, almost your nails, and your toenails. You know, your foot, and it picks up, your hands pick up the movement. And the same thing when you come into the plie here, yeah? Don't do it here. It's now, you pick up your hands, your fingers, they have little bit, even more, shape it better here, and you lift, and you grow, and continue there, and not too low the arms, and not too low the arms, and not too low the arms, so it's not on your, yeah, right, okay. Da, da. Da, da, da. You do this way, you do that way, whichever way you do one arm and one arm, right? And you do one arm and two arms. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Right. I think we have to finish, yes. You know, it's just a little bit that we have done, but it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
It's always such a shame to interrupt the rehearsal.
Because you have to, it has so many sides and so many facets. There is a technical side, and there is all the rest. Yeah.
And so emotional as well, isn't it? Such big emotions. Like one of these.
Just don't do emotions too much with your face.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Wrinkles.
Yeah. No. It's not because of wrinkles. You know, we all grow wrinkles. It's not that. It's that it feels good, but it's not the right way.
Olga, if I start with you, can you remember the first time you actually saw Giselle being performed?
I do. And it was not, for some reason, there were all sorts of many ballets that I'd seen as a child, or was a page or whatever, as a child, because at that time I was small. But Giselle I saw relatively late, and I was extremely, I think, lucky to see probably one of the last performances of Giselle of Ulanova, who was way past her 50, not much, but past her 50, for sure. And what I remember is her eyes. they were, there's a word in Russian for it, that they shine and they give light. And yeah, it probably would be considered a little old-fashioned, you know, a lot of it. But the impression, actually, if I think of Giselle, that is the first one that I think of, just as an impression. Yeah.
And the eyes, obviously, one quality, but what are the other qualities that dancers have to bring to this role? It's big roles, right?
Or, the gentleman, I think he has to be a cross of a leopard and kangaroo.
Okay.
In terms of technical baggage, you know, because it has to leap, but it has to have not a kangaroo quality. And you know, technically speaking, it's all about jumping, this ballet. I mean, not all about jumping, but remarkably a lot about jumping. Again, a cross of a wildcat and a gazelle or something like that. That's just talking, you know, what you're working on. You know, there are no fouettes in this ballet and things like that. But there is so much more. Every sort of side of it. Giselle, you know, there is a second act which everybody loves, and then there's a first act that some love and some hate, but there would be no second act if there weren't first act, obviously. So it takes, I would say, a certain maturity. Some people have it early, and some it takes time. And it's probably one of those parts that's never twice the same either. It's telling the story through steps, because if you take it down, you know, they're just silly classroom steps, and you do it to the right and you do it to the left. And sometimes you do it 3 times, and sometimes 4 times, and sometimes just twice. But we must not see that. Actually, the magic is when you don't see the steps at all. But of course,
Fantastic.
yeah, it takes many sides. It's quite, I think, can be both parts, I think. Giselle, certainly, but even Albrecht, it's something which you can go all your dancing life through and grow with it.
A journey.
And yeah, it is.
And Yasmin, as Olga says, technically this is one of the most difficult in the repertoire, and emotionally, I guess, you've got the whole thing. How difficult is that? How do you approach that role?
Well, I agree with everything Olga has said, of course. But obviously, Giselle takes a lot of preparation. It's heavy on the lower legs, like Olga's mentioned. It's a lot about jumping. So you have to build a certain stamina and endurance to do the technical side. But as she's also touched on, the maturity of portraying Giselle as a young girl, as a human being, but then showing the contrast in Act 2 as she's otherworldly as a spirit, and really achieving that romantic style that this ballet was created so many years ago. And it's important that we still take that essence and put it into our 21st century bodies, you know. So we keep that flavor alive, because I think it's important to have these ballets as our bread and butter ballets to kind of revisit and keep the essence of its true body in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matthew, with your character, Albrecht, I mean, gosh, he has a real shift, doesn't he, in persona from Act 1 to Act 2. How challenging is that? It's a quick interval shift to get your head around it.
Yeah, I think it's quite difficult. You have to approach it quite sensitively, and I find it quite a nuanced role. Like Olga says, the kind of setup of the first act is kind of, there's quite a lot of options to where to go with it. Is he just naive about what his actions, what the consequences of his actions will be, or is he kind of quite, well, some people play it like that. It is a valid interpretation. But I think I tend to be quite, well, yeah. I tend to think of it as like quite knowing and understanding of the situation and more worldly in general than Giselle, and obviously of a kind of higher rank in the kind of a feudal system or whatever, or an aristocrat. But I think, yeah, like I said, like, you know, that tends to be quite detailed, and you don't have all that much time to set up these kind of different approaches before, you know, getting to the kind of meat, if you like, the main course of the evening, which is, I suppose, the second act, where, you know, the real drama comes to life and the ballet really takes flight, and so do we.
It certainly is dramatic. You both make it look very easy, for sure. And just finally, obviously you're back live, in front of live audiences. How does that feel? Silly question, probably, but...
I mean, obviously it feels incredible. It's amazing to hear the applause in the house, to see full seats. I think it was very strange when it was a half-filled audience to kind of see seats missing. That's something we've never experienced before. So it definitely feels amazing to see that we still have that support and love from our audience.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we do what we do to share it with other people, and we've been lucky enough to be able to practice our craft throughout this time for already quite a sustained period. But, you know, sharing it with a live audience is what it's all really about, and I think that's when the magic happens from what we're producing as well. I really feel like my work steps up, and the whole kind of collective atmosphere of the company becomes just this kind of more unified, you know, eyes on the prize sort of approach when it comes to those performances like that.
Well, absolutely. We've loved being back live, haven't we, as well? Seeing it live, it's just not the same otherwise. Thank you so much. It's been a long day. Thank you very much for a beautiful rehearsal. Olga, Matthew, Yasmin, thank you. Well, don't forget, you'll be able to watch Yasmin and Matthew perform in Giselle wherever you are in the world on December the 3rd. Just sign up to the Royal Opera House stream to book your tickets. Well, next tonight, I am delighted to welcome former principal and director of the Royal Ballet, Dame Monica Mason. Hello, Monica. It's good to see you. Lovely to see you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we're going to see you rehearse, but I wondered if you could just talk through some of your memories of Giselle. Obviously, you've performed in this ballet so many times. Could you share some of your memories?
Oh, some very special memories. I think, in fact, when I first started to learn it, we were on tour in America. We were in Chicago. We got a matinee and an evening performance of Giselle. So the set was all perfectly in place. And I had a rehearsal, my very first rehearsal, to learn Myrta with Ronald Hind. And Ronald Hind was a treasured member of the Royal Ballet. He was beginning at this point in his career to take rehearsals. And he had first danced Giselle with Ballet Rambert. And when I arrived in the wings, all ready and all eager, and I climbed up on point all ready for the very first bourrée, and he said, "Oh, no, 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 get off your feet, no, no." He said, "Where are you?" And I thought, "Where am I? Chicago? No." And he said, "No, I mean, where are you?" I said, "Oh, I'm in a forest." He said, "What kind of forest?" And I said, "Oh, it's very dark. It's very dark and heavy trees over tall trees, and you feel completely surrounded." And he said, "Yes, and is it the temperature?" Oh, I said, "It's sort of cold and it's nighttime." And he said, "Exactly. Now you can start to bourrée." So I have to say that I sort of do this on the girls when I start to rehearse it, because you can't just climb up and start bourréing. Exactly like Olga's been saying with Matt and Yasmin. You know, you have to create an atmosphere. And the more you think it, the more the audience will get it. And then I think my other precious memory was of being Myrta in a performance with Margot Fonteyn and Rudolf Nureyev. And Margot came towards me in the second act, pleading with me to save Albrecht. And as she gazed at me with these enormous dark eyes, a tear ran down her cheek. And I thought, oh, how am I ever going to say no to this woman?
what a wonderful memory. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to see this evening then? To rehearse?
Well, Julia is all raring to go. Well, sort of, I think. She did a run of Queen of the Willies this morning, the second act of Giselle, and she's also been rehearsing the Nutcracker all afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So she's as fresh as a daisy. But what I really don't want to do is too much more jumping. So what we'll do is all the opening bourrées. I want also, because it's her first time, that she'll be dancing this role, and the importance of the mime gestures and conveying so that the audience understands, because I think everybody understands the gesture you, because we say it in conversation normally. We say, what do you think? I mean, how are you? So it's that kind of naturalness, but at the same time, it has a formality. So it's just striking the right balance.
Yeah. As you say, it's Julia Roscoe's debut.
It's
Fantastic.
making her debut.
Exciting. How do you go about approaching a big role like this for a young dancer?
Well, it's extremely challenging, and I think particularly for someone who is accustomed to dancing in the court of ballet, because you're not used to having the whole stage to yourself. You're used to being in a group of dancers. It might be a whole line of dancers, or it might be just 3 or 4. But usually you're having to consider how much space you're taking up, having to consider where their legs are going, so you're not kicking one another. And then suddenly you find yourself center stage. And the freedom that needs to give you, and also the ability to trust yourself to express perhaps what's always been inside you, but you've not ever yet had the chance to really give vent to it. So slowly, we build, it's like a wonderful layer cake that goes on, or sort of up a pyramid, climbing the stairs to get to the top.
Yeah. Oh, very exciting. Well, we're so looking forward to seeing rehearsal. Thank you so much, Monica Mason. Thank you. And welcome Julia and Tim back on the piano.
And there's Tim. Yes, let's put that. Yeah, thank you. So this is Julia, and she's just placing her, we call them twigs, but actually, of course, they're far more important than twigs, because really, the Queen of the Willies uses them to conjure her magic. And they don't look extremely important, but they're highly valued. So what we're going to do is you're going to have to imagine there's a wing, and Julia's going to come from behind the wing. So Tim, please, we don't need the 6s. We just need the 3. And I will be stopping a bit also. Okay. Thank you, Tim. Let's just stop there. Yes. A little early making that preparation. I should have said that, of course, on her very first bourrée, she has a veil. So all you see is this amazing creature, mysterious creature, bourrée across. And then she removes the veil, and then she comes out. Now, I know we always have to think, it's such a big theatre, this, the Royal Opera House is such a wonderful big theatre. But when you come out, it's not that you're ignoring the people in the stalls, but there's the vastness of it you have to take in a little bit more. So the very first move, get there sooner and then hold it. Yeah, and take your eyes ahead of your arm. Yeah, and not too turned, not too turned. That's better, yes. Really believe you've emerged, yes. You do it every night that there's a man to catch. Out you come, yes. Now, Julia, this hand, this right hand, make it so important that you then see your trees. And as you start to walk, now it's like panther feet, like panther feet. So that not at any time do you feel tempted to run. Yes, even to get to the grave. And this arm is going to take in the trees, take lower. You've done that movement up, now lower it and take it. Take it, yeah? Darling, not back here. Yes, now take your body with you, take your body with you. There we go, panther feet, and the arm, no, don't. The arm comes round, and then it takes you to the grave. Yes, and look, don't be afraid. You're looking down, and you're thinking, she's there. Yes, she's there, I know. This is the new one. Yes, she's there. And then you turn, yes. And they're a little bit slower. And then, again, easy elbows. Don't ever get to a straight arm. Slower. Yes. And don't be afraid to don't go back. There we go. And now you step into it. Right. So let's do, Timmy, if we can go from the end of the first bourrée where she comes back on, please. Now use your right hand. Use it. Don't rush. Panther feet. Don't be back. Little feet, back one. Be back. Yes, thank you, Tim. Thank you. Let's just stop there. Thank you. Good girl. You know, it's fascinating because it's a story ballet, and because obviously we have a script going on in our heads, which we hope to get over the footlights into the audience. And every now and again you have to do something like that arabesque, the promenade, and the penché. And the only way I can think of it is that the Queen of the Willies actually is saying, I'm really good at this, so don't take your eyes off me. You know, because suddenly, because this is not easy, especially in the lights are very strong in the wings, and in order to be able to get to step straight into that arabesque and make that promenade, just convince yourself that you love doing this because you know you're so good at it. Yes? Yeah? We won't repeat that. We won't repeat that. The very first, after you've done that, you know how I love this movement going back up that corner there. I want to see that you go bourreeing, and I want to see the arms get longer and longer until they have to open. They have to open, Julia, and then they start to open, and only when they're halfway open do you bend. Otherwise, what happens is you tend to get your bourreeing, and then you get one arm that does this, and you bend. Really think two, and then, yeah, that's better. Just let's try that. So at the end of the penché, please, Tim. Save them. Okay, so let's go to the end of this bourrée, and let's go now into the hops, yes? Thank you, Timmy. Let's stop there. Good, Julia, good. The more that you can feel you're keeping your chest up on those hops, not letting your body come down at all. Really, yes, yes. Yes, that's it. Never a straight arm. Still there's a cushion of air under your arm there. Yes, exactly. Yes, and the same on the back one too. Yes, so that you're using your back, you're not pulling back, and you're leading with this. Yeah? Yes, that's right. Then when you've done that, mind on the pas de bourrée. Lower on the pas de bourrée. D, da, D. Yeah, let's try that once more. Thank you, Tim. Go on now. Panther feet, panther feet. Okay, just hold it, please. Yeah, good girl. That was much better. The second side, they crept up a little bit. You felt that? Yes? Think of them down. Panther feet. Doof, 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 doof. Yes. You know, don't overturn them. Don't try and turn them out so much as you're running. You won't be like this. There we go, yeah. And always keeping your body going forward. Yes, Julia, yeah, yeah. When you come to here, a sacred moment, yes, the magic of these. Yeah, now lunge, yeah? Otherwise, if you don't fondue, we end up with that, yeah? And get them there as you do it. As you do it, yes? Even there, mind we don't have anything collapse in the upper body. Yes, yeah. Are you really believing in them? Really believe in them. When you pick them, when you pick them, so the audience go, oh, I wonder what this is about. Yes? And then they'll know when you do that something important is happening. And again, show them. Yes, yes. Good, good. Timmy, can we just go from running to get them, please? Pum, 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 pum. Good. Show them. Go, panther feet. Feet, 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 feet. And big step each time. We don't want to throw them, yes, and break a mirror, all right? So we're all right. Okay, good. Good, it's coming. It's all coming, very good. I think that it would be nice to show, rather than jump anymore. I had a little note from this morning, from the run. Ticka, 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 ticka. This should be a développé. And it's becoming a little bit more. There we go. Why don't we try that with the music? Okay, so that middle section, yes, please. Yes, to me. A little lead into that, please. Soft the arms, soft. Yeah, all right, just let's stop a second. Much better that, much better. Now, when you come to this, really not an easy step, this chassé coupé, you're wanting to go a long way, but take your body to your foot. Now you coupé, you're completely on your balance. Now take your body with you as you jeté. Don't do anything that makes your body go back. Better? Yes, better. No straight arms, remember? Flying, floating. Air under your arms. Chest, focus. Your focus is there, yes? Yeah, yes, don't focus there, once more. Yeah. Try and lift it. Yes, so it's, yeah. Just a little lead in, Tim, to the chassé coupé jeté, please. Yes, you know, much better. You could still push off with that. into that jeté more. Yes. Yes, you see, not just from your knee down, from there. Nice bit of meat there. Yes, really, because that's what it's there for, really to launch you forward, yeah? On the entrelacé, your arms want to go, you want to go up, and they're here. Now they're open. So at the height, you get there, and then they do that. Just do it without the music. Yes. Yes. Good, good. Yeah, good, good. Okay. Now, because we didn't get to the end this morning, we didn't really get to any of Hilarion, did we? Yeah? I wanted also, and I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the kneel. I want you to order Albrecht to kneel. You here dance. Yes? So just without the music, just show me. You're there. Okay, I'll be Albrecht. I'm not going to kneel though. And you here dance. Yes. Now, no frowning at all. And when you say you, don't do that to say you. Yes? You. Even less. You, yes. You, here, yeah, here. Now don't start the dance here and it goes all the way up. You, here, dance, yes. Then Giselle comes in, she protects him. Yes, you call the Willies, they run. Now she goes up the back. Now show me what you're going to do here. Panther feet, tati, yeah? Not an elbow, yeah? Your whole body, yeah? Grow your whole body, yeah? Right up, more, once more. Right up, it can't be tall enough. La, di, la, da, di, da, 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 yeah. More, not the elbow. Yes, and di, da, 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 di, da, 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 di, da, 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 di, da, 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 di, da, 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 di, da, da, da. Terrible singing, and do, recover. Yeah, I'd recover still kneeling. Long, and then stand. Lam, da dee da dee, da dee da yum. Yeah. I think because you've been so shocked at your own reaction to seeing such love as she's showing Albrecht. Yes, you hadn't expected that for a moment. You were hiding from it. And then you try to, you recover yourself. I'm going to recover. I'm going to stand. And I can't even look at her. Come and dance. Yes? Now, at that moment, she's just icy. She's trying to handle herself too. Yes? Just go into the kneel. D. Yum. Dee da da dee. Dee da da dee da dee da dee da. Yes. Yeah. And at that moment when you're calling her, just have your eyes absolutely still. Just nothing, just call her. That's better. Call her. And now you walk. Panther, panther, panther. Yes. Good. Good. Okay. Good, darling. Hilarion, when he jettes towards you, jette, and he's on his knee, you You, here, die. Yes. You know, she doesn't want to look angry. Try not to make her angry. She's relentless in her vengefulness, you know. She's so determined that he's going to die, so that not for a moment is she, you awful man, I'm so sick of you, die. You know, it's not that kind of thing at all. You, here, die. You do, it's like you're saying, you do realize there's no way out of this. Yes, once more. You, here, die. Don't you think die is the most important? You, here, die. Yes? So it's like in a conversation, there's punctuation, there's a stronger word, exactly the same thing. Think the word before you do the gesture. Think you, here, die. Yes, that's better. Good, good. I think we've done enough, Julia. I don't want to exhaust you anymore.
Thank you so much for a wonderful rehearsal. I think this must be Thank you. Good luck with your debut as well. Oh, sadly, that's all we have time for tonight. Can you believe it? It's just not fair. Thank you so much to all our guests who've joined us this evening. Don't forget to book your tickets for Giselle on the Royal Opera House stream. You can see it live on December the 3rd. And thank you for watching tonight's Insight, supported by Rolex. Thank you to our studio audience here in the Claw Studio and to all of you watching around the world. Good night.